That's the team that we'll talk about. But first, this will be the final one of the big four that I'm doing my what ifs are. I know I did all the football teams. I know I did 28 of the 31 NHL teams. I know I did, I believe, 28 of the 30 baseball teams. But I'm only doing 27 of the 30 NBA teams for one reason. One, the Memphis Grizzlies have not really had much as a what if, especially with the fact that we're in Vancouver. That in Vancouver they didn't even have a winning record in those like 6 seasons in Vancouver before they moved to Memphis. I can't really think of a what if to help the Memphis Grizzlies out. Couldn't do it. I mean, I'd love to see basketball back in Canada other than a Toronto team, but still, I mean, Vancouver, they had the fan base, but they didn't have the winning streak. Brian Reeves was a great player for the Vancouver Grizzlies, I'll say that much. And Sharif Abdul-Rahim. But out of that, not really much. The New Orleans slash Charlotte Hornets have no what if because, like, the Hornets have not really had many playoff runs. So I couldn't really think of a good what if scenario for the Hornets. I know Kevin Walker will help the Charlotte Hornets out in the days gone past. Damn it, why didn't we get Kemba when we did? And the other team did not get it. What if it's, well, would have been Charlotte? Well, the New Orleans Pelicans. Yeah, the New Orleans Pelicans don't get a what if. I mean, Anthony Davis just couldn't lead them to the playoffs. So I didn't think that. So those three franchises don't get a what if. This one does. So anyway, the Washington Bullets were first the Chicago Ciphers, and then Chicago moved to Baltimore to become the Baltimore Bullets in 1963. And Baltimore decided to move the team after 9 years of failure to Washington, but Washington decided to call them the Capitol Bullets. If you look at the 1974 NBA stuff, you'll see the Capitol Bullets, not the Washington Bullets, the Capitol Bullets. So anyway, Washington got the name in '75, so they were named the Washington Bullets. And they got to the NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors, and everyone thought that the Bullets were going to annihilate the Warriors and get that franchise their first NBA title. One tiny little problem, though, a bit of scheduling problems, as Washington decided to have a weird scheduling thing. I forget what it was. I think they won. I think they hosted game one, but then let games two and three be on the West Coast, and then hosted game four. I don't know how they did it, but anyway, the Bullets ended up being swept by the Golden State Warriors. Hang on a minute. The Bullets were supposed to sweep the Warriors, not get swept themselves. Yikes. So anyway, the Washington Bullets of 1976 were supposed to be a redemption song, and they weren't. They had a famous seven-game series showdown with the Cleveland Cavaliers, when Cleveland actually had a decent basketball team. Anyway, so Washington lost that seven-game series to the Cavaliers with like 5 seconds left. The Cavs then fell to the Celtics, who then won the NBA title against the Suns. So of course, when we do the what if, it would be the Bullets versus the Celtics, and the winner will face the Phoenix Suns if necessary. If the Bullets lose to the Celtics, obviously the Celtics win this what if for themselves. So anyway, the Washington Bullets actually won the 1978 NBA title, but in '79 Seattle came roaring back to get revenge on Washington for beating them the year prior. So the Bullets, try as they might, had run out of space in the 1980s. They did get Bernard King, who was coming off a major knee injury, and basically the Knicks didn't want anything to do with him. So he went to the Bullets, and he was comeback player of the year. He looked good, but then his injuries struck him again. So anyway, the Bullets did get Chris Webber, who was a decent player. Um, the Bullets decided to change their name to the Washington Wizards in 1997 after thinking that Bullets are going to just be about gang violence. So they became the Washington Wizards, which was a funny name. But it's been sticking since 1997. The weird thing about the Wizards is that it was the home to Michael Jordan, who actually played a few years in the Wizards and had a few decent moments, like including getting his team back to Chicago when the Wizards played the Bulls, and the Wizards won that game, and Michael Jordan played decent. MJ played decent in the 2003 NBA All-Star game, becoming a kind of a cult hero, if you will. So anyway, Washington has had some great players. Gilbert Arenas and John Wall are two great guards. Gilbert Arenas unfortunately ruined his career by having a gun in the room, and John Wall's just been playing with like has-beens. Like Paul Pierce came for a few seasons. Well, Washington has had a revolving door of players and all that, and that's just not fair. So we'll deal with the 1976 Bullets, and we'll make it, of course, the what if. So stay tuned. All right, so the 76 Bullets and the 76 Celtics. You got 54 versus 48. So Washington had Dave Bing, Bill Chenier, Mike Riordan, Alvin Hayes, and Wes Unseld. Boston, JoJo White, Charlie Scott, John Havlicek, Paul Silas, Dave Cowens. So yeah, 54 versus 48. See if the Celtics can do something or the Bullets do something about it. Well, the Celtics did something about it. 103-89. 26 from Alvin Hayes. Great job. 18 from Bing. Wes Unseld, 7 points. Not Unseld Blake. But they also had Truck Robinson, Nick Weatherspoon, Jimmy Jones, Clem Haskins. Yeah, the legendary college coach of Minnesota. One of those. Clem Haskins was a player. Kevin Greavy, Tom Kropp, Tom Kosako. For the Celtics, 26 from Dave Cowens, 20 from Havlicek. Kevin Stackham, 11 points off the bench. Glenn McDonald had 7 points off the bench in 16 minutes. I think we've seen the 76 team in one of the other what ifs, but I don't know. Jim Ard, Tom Boswell, Steve Kuberski, Don Nelson. Yes, that Don Nelson, the coach, legend. Jerome Anderson and Ed Searcy. So Celtics come out on top in game one. Game two. No, it's the 76 Warriors who played the 76 Celtics. The Celtics win again, 110-104. 23 from Alvin Haynes, Unseld, 13 points. Basically, they relied on their starters a lot. 24 from Cowens and 17 from Havlicek. Stackham, again, with 12 points. Don Nelson, no points in 8 minutes. Halfway home. See if Washington can do something about it. Washington can do something about it. Winning 126-110. 30 points from Dave Cowens was not enough. They used their bench, especially Truck Robinson, 16 points in 19 minutes. 30 points from Bing, 23 from Chenier. Unseld only had 8 points. 10 points from Jimmy Jones. And that's pretty good, don't you think? Game 4 sees the powerful Boston Celtics take Game 4, 98-91. 25 from JoJo, 20 from Havlicek. 17 from Charlie Scott. So, yeah, Nelson played the Washington Bullets. Well, 19 from Dave Bing, 16 from Chenier. Unseld only 9 points. Weatherspoon 11 points off the bench. So, yeah, the Bullets just sucked. Game 5 back in Boston because it's 2-2-1-1-1. And what do we got? Nothing from the Washington Bullets. They have to take a bullet to the brain. I think it's that. So that makes only 9 NBA teams that got their happy ever after. So the final stats are that baseball had 10 happy endings, football had 7, hockey had 13, and NBA had 9. So NBA took third place, just beating the NFL, despite the fact that the NFL had 32 teams playing. So the NBA is, well, take it. But anyway, Washington set 22 points from Alvin Hayes, 15 from Riordan, 14 from Bing. Wes Unseld, 40 minutes with only 8 points. Nick Weatherspoon played 13 minutes, and he only got 8 points. And he got the 8 points. 28 from Cowens, 25 from JoJo, 23 from Charlie Scott. They didn't really need any other scoring. Not even Don Nelson's 4 points. So that's it. That's the end of an icon. End of a legend. I hope you enjoyed this series. There'll be some other tournaments to do with what ifs that I will set up in the near future.